Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just kind of drop a chat in the chat room so I can know. Just drop a text, an emoji. Welcome back, everyone. Yesterday was fantastic, and I hope you have high hope and expectation for today. If you can hear me, let me just see your chat in the chat section. Can you just drop something for me? Welcome back to day 2 of Ambidextrous Conference. Welcome back, guys. Yesterday was fantastic. I learned a lot personally, and I know you guys learned a lot too. So if you just want to, if you can, I can't see anybody dropping anything in the chat. I know we have people on the call now, and we're streaming to Facebook and YouTube. So if eventually, if your friend can't get into this Zoom room, they can actually join the call on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you can hear me, just drop a chat so I know you can hear me and you can see me clearly. Yeah, some people are still connecting. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Welcome to day 2. Yeah, thank you, Vivian. You can hear me. Fantastic. Welcome back. Welcome back. This evening is going to be fantastic, especially, we have 2 amazing speakers and they'll be sharing on how to, one, speaking around internship and job, especially in the new normal, and also how to close scholarship deals. There are scholarships today. I'm telling you, you won't just believe your ears, what people are doing, traveling all around the world, UK, Germany, Europe, United States of America. People are maximizing the opportunity. And this evening, I don't know where you, at the time where you are now, this evening, this afternoon, this morning, no matter where you are, these speakers will be sharing on this fantastic opportunity and how you can specifically use some effective strategy to land yourself a great scholarship, probably leads to you leaving the country, finding a new path for yourself. And if you have struggled getting job, this may be the best time, to be on this course so that you can learn effective ways, from experts in human resource that can guide you to get your next internship or get next job in some area, in some company you're actually hiring, You have some list of company where you want to work and they're proving difficult. But on the call this evening, Nigerian time, obviously, we have amazing speakers that will give you clarity on that and advice on what you can do, practical hands on it, what you can do to help you achieve results. So welcome everyone. We just want a few of our other friends to join, then we're going to start immediately. So if you can just type in the chat why we do that. If you are here yesterday, I just wanted to share one thing that resonates with you the most. One thing that resonates with you the most out of the 2 speakers that spoke on finance and also managing and understanding crypto, getting into crypto space. So I wanted to share something in the chat room that really resonates with you from that yesterday's session. Anyone, I just wanted to go for it. Just drop one thing that stood out for you from yesterday's session. Anyone? Yeah, you can go for it. Just one thing that stood out from yesterday's session, from the 2 speakers we had yesterday. It was a fantastic session. And personally, I had some level of clarity around. I think I love the part where Temitope shared a framework for you to manage your wealth and to build it. It makes it easy for people to plan around it. And I love the way Kenny really dived into the practicality of crypto. So it was not just about how good crypto was, or is rather, but opportunity for you to get in and learn some technical basis that can really help you. And they also share amazing, tools and resources that can really help you. Someone talk about emergency fund. Thank you so much, Vivian. Yes, emergency fund. So no matter how little you may think your funds are, you don't have enough funds. It's also it's still a good skill set to learn how to save, to learn how to save for emergency fund. Nice one. Anybody want to share? Guys, I want the energy to be high in the chat section. So if you want to share this at time, you can just share what stood out for you from yesterday's session. Wow, someone talk about investment, taking, it's talking about, we said investment means taking from today to pay tomorrow. Fantastic, being intentional about you building a legacy, literally, around wealth, right? More of like that discipline of you want to really exercise discipline, delayed gratification. I think that's the right word, so that tomorrow you have opportunity to at least afford what you can afford today. Blessing, she's saying, I learned that you can make all the money you need in the work. You can't make all the money you need in your life. Collaboration is key. Yes, I think there was emphasis on community from the crypto, someone that spoke on crypto and the other person that shared on finance, the emphasis of community. And yeah, it's also trying to build community, right? Fantastic, fantastic. Guys, we want to keep to time, so we're going to be starting now. And if your friend is not on this call and he or she needs clarity, around closing scholarship and also getting job in this post-pandemic, he or she needs to be on this call. Your brother, your sister, so you want to share this link now. So we're taking the first speaker in the next 1 to 3 minutes. So I want you to share the link. And if they can't get into the Zoom room, eventually it gets full, they can use the YouTube and the Facebook page because we're streaming there right now. So ladies and gentlemen, this evening, Nigerian time, because we're in Lagos, Nigeria, we're streaming this conference from Lagos, Nigeria, we'll be welcoming Amarachi Asunobi. And I want to read her profile. She'll be speaking on how you can get jobs and internship in the new normal. So I want to read her profile before I bring her on. She's already on the course, so we're good to go. Just give me a second, let me pull out. So Amarachi, she's a resourceful HR personnel at Prime Atlantic with key competencies in talent acquisition, employee engagement, associate member of Chartered Institute of Personal Management, CIPM, vice president membership, Seaside Toastmaster International Club, Toastmaster is a community centered around building communication and leadership skill. So ladies and gentlemen, everybody on the call, I want you to give Amarachi a warm welcome. Can I see the chat? I intentionally mute everybody so that we can have a more seamless conversation this evening. So you can use the chat just to welcome her. You can show us some love. Welcome, Amarachi. I'll be unmuting you now so that you can take over the session. So you'll be able to unmute now. Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yes, but we can't see your video yet. Welcome.
Okay, I'll put on my video shortly, please.
Awesome.
I'm trying to share my screen. I'm unable to do
I'll
that.
give you access to that. Yeah, I've given you access now. So yes, you can go ahead now to share the screen.
Okay, great. Okay, please let me know when you see my screen.
Yeah, yes, we can see your screen.
Right. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, okay.
We're asking you in the chat room. Good evening, I muted it. You can just
the chat room. So, all right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here to speak today. I'm really, really excited about this. Thank you to the organizers of Ambidextrous Conference for having me. So quickly, I'm going to be running through what I have here today on job hunting and internship in the new normal. Okay, they already read my short biography, but I could just go over it again. So I'm currently a HR professional with key competencies in talent acquisition and employee engagement. Got a degree from Covenants, member of CIPM, vice president, Seaside Toastmasters, and I'm passionate about human capital development. And I try to leverage on social media to share the knowledge that I have. All right, so quickly today, these are some of the things that we're going to be discussing: the job market, hiring trends in the new normal, what employers are looking for, tips for job hunting in the new normal, the future of work, and the overall implications of all these changes on job seekers, employees, and business owners, of course. And then we'll take a question and answer session afterwards. So please, in the course of my presentation, if you have questions, you can jot them down and there'll be time for that afterwards. Okay, so before I begin, I'd like to ask a question. So you can just respond in the comment section, right? So do you agree that COVID-19 brought about a lot of changes in the job market? If your answer is yes, just type yes in the comment section. If it's no, type no. And I mean, I'd like to see your responses. Do you think COVID-19 really brought about changes in the way recruitment is done now or not? What are your thoughts? Okay, I see some yeses in the comment section. Okay, great. I'd like to also know, the changes you thought that COVID-19 came with. So you can also just jot them down in the comment section and then we'll go through it much later. Okay, so did you know that about the unemployment rate in Nigeria increased from 27.1% to 33.3% just between December 2020 and March 2021. Okay, so this statistics already tells us that COVID-19 definitely brought about, changes in the whole job market. Okay, there were a lot of people that lost their jobs. There were lots of people that, had salary cuts and all. There were lots of business owners as well that couldn't really pursue business as usual. So yes, it did. I agree with you. If you said yes in the comment section, I agree with you that COVID-19 brought about a lot of changes in the job market. Speaking about the job market, let's talk about, the two sides of the job market. So there's the recruiter or the business owner perspective, and then there's also the job seeker or the employee perspective. Okay, so the job market is made up of these two key people: the business owner, the recruiter, and then the job seeker or the employee. And some of the challenges that recruiters, business owners face, during the pandemic was trying to adapt to the whole virtual working thing. For a lot of companies, working virtually, remotely from home was new. Where I work for one, that was very new to me and the company I work for. So we had to try as much as possible to adapt to working remotely and still getting work done. Another challenge that we had, was connecting and accessing candidates online. It's one thing to connect with someone physically, and another thing entirely trying to connect with them, get their true vibe or emotion via, the internet. They are two different things actually. And then finding top talent remotely, that also posed a challenge for a lot of recruiters. Long distance onboarding. When you're trying to onboard, it's usually better when you do this physically, just so that the new hire can have a feel of the organization. So this was also a challenge for a lot of recruiters and business owners, the fact that they had to hire virtually, onboard virtually, do almost everything virtually because we all were working from home. Right. So also on the side of the job seeker, the whole pandemic, COVID-19 and everything brought about some challenges for them as well. There was pandemic insecurity, work-life balance, especially for the employees that were working from home. It was hard to differentiate, work time from home time because you were doing both from the comfort of your home. So that was a challenge for a lot of people. Then also finding the right organization with great perks or compensation was also a challenge because now everybody had ported to working from home. So trying to look for an organization that has, the extra advantages was also a challenge. more emphasis on productivity. So a lot of us, since we're working from home, the only way we can tell that you're really doing your job is, if you're being productive, if you're meeting your KPIs and meeting your daily deliverables. So there was more emphasis on that. And also for job seekers, there was multiple interview rounds, because everything was done virtually. So employers just needed to have those, be very sure before employing. Okay, so I'll quickly talk about the trends that, shape the hiring in the new normal. The trends that shape hiring in the new normal. The first one, the virtual world of work. So in the new normal, everything now is virtual. A lot of people are still working from home even till date. A lot of people are also doing the hybrid system of work. So sometimes you go to the office, sometimes you work from home. We still have people that work from the office, but the number of people working in the office has greatly reduced. So, in the future, I think virtual world of work is here to stay. Remote working is here to stay. So companies are beginning to look at ways to improve their job interview process remotely. They're beginning to network more, training as well, because if employees are working from home, there might be some skill gaps in terms of IT skills. So employees will need to be trained on that, and also remote work as well. Another trend that's shaping hiring in the new normal is the need for personal development. The need for personal development, both on the side of the job seeker and the company as a whole. The job seeker will have to be more versatile in the sense that you need to develop your skills, you need to grow in areas where you lack, in-demand skills. So since there was a lot of layoff because of the whole pandemic, you find that most employees had to couple like 2 job roles in one. So as an employee, you need to be more versatile in this new normal. You need to be able to do not just your core job, but other things to give you an additional advantage. Also, you need to build soft skills. Soft skills are very important in this new normal that we find ourselves in. Time management in particular, communication skills. These are skills that you absolutely need to be able to be effective while working from home. Employers, on the other hand, they will have to build and define their brand. So since a lot of people are working from home, employers are beginning to look for ways that they can attract and retain top talent. And one of the ways that you can do that is in this new normal is by providing flexible work options. Create a great candidate experience. COVID-19, most people have tested both waters, working from the office and then working from home. And we find that majority of people don't want to go back to working from the office 100%. So if as a company, you need to also evolve with the trend, you need to be more flexible. You need to understand that candidates can actually still work from home and get things done, like was done in the heat of the COVID era. The next trend, recruiters will focus more on candidates' personality, soft skills. Okay, I think I highlighted on that earlier. So soft skills like communication skills, super important. You'll be communicating a lot, via Zoom, via Microsoft Teams. Communicating in person and communicating via, a communication tool online they're 2 different things. You need to be able to apply yourself when communicating virtually. You need to be able to speak up articulately, make your points clear while communicating virtually. So yeah, soft skills is definitely a trend to look out for in the new normal. Greater adoption of artificial intelligence and data analytics is definitely a key trend, in the sense that companies will begin to look to automate their processes. Of course, this will not completely eradicate, the need for human personnel, but then it just makes you realize that the need to be more, the need to up your game in terms of developing the necessary skills to remain relevant on your job. So I recall during last year when we were forced to work from home, everyone was forced to work from home. I had contacted one of my colleagues to help sign a document and send back. And I realized that, it took her a while to do that. And I had to put a call through to ask if she was facing any challenges. And I realized that, she couldn't sign, virtually. And for me, especially for me working in the HR space, that just made me realize that, okay, there are some gaps here. This person will probably need some training on, working virtually, scanning documents without having to print, signing virtually, and all of those things. So, the greater adoption of artificial intelligence and data analytics is also a very, very important trend as well. Okay, so we've talked about the trends and the job market. So now, what really are the employers looking for? What skills should we try to gain in order to get a good job, in order to be hired in this new normal? According to a report, it says 50% of recruiters. 52. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you clearly.
Okay, great. Okay, so according to reports, it says that 52% of recruiters say they are most interested in candidates with a degree in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and math. Right, so if more than half percentage of recruiters say they are more interested in candidates with a degree in STEM, then that means that there are certain skills that we need to begin to learn, right? One of which is productivity. We need to be able to increase our productivity rate in the new normal. Employers are looking for candidates that can, be productive, that can set goals and achieve what they are supposed to achieve that day, towards meeting the company's objectives without supervision, So productivity is definitely, something that employers are looking for. And then for job seekers, one way in which employers would test to see if you're productive is to check your track record. What did you do in your previous place of employment? Or what did you do while you were in school? What did you achieve? So if you're an undergraduate here, and you probably don't have any of such, volunteering experiences or internships, you need to begin to look actively for that, because this is one way in which, employers will definitely test to see if you have been productive previously and if you can be productive in a new job. Another thing is in-demand skills. So like I said earlier, a lot of virtual working. So you need to up your IT game. You need to up, your remote working game as well. Versatility. Employers that these days, employers want to hire people that can do not just one thing, but multiple things. They'll rather go with a candidate that can, that has some idea of accounting, that has some idea of marketing, that has some idea of HR, as opposed to one person that has an idea just in HR. So you need to be more versatile. You need to be more open to learning, and I'm sure you'd be chosen, Also remote proficiency. Yeah, so employers want to also know that, okay, the person they're hiring for a job can work remotely and deliver on the job. So a lot of the time, most people that work from home, are not able to differentiate work time from home time. Okay, so employers want to know that, okay, this person I'm hiring would be able to be mature enough to differentiate when it's work time and when it's family or home time. The fact that you're working from home doesn't necessarily mean that you're on holiday or stuff like that. So employers want to see that you can work remotely. Also, critical thinking. With the whole pandemic situation, employers do not want to be stressed or burdened with thinking for employees. So they would like candidates that can think for themselves deeply, that can also, solve problems, through their critical thinking abilities. So that's also another thing that employers are looking out for. Another thing is communication. And I kept this one last because it is super, super important. In this, new normal, communication is one skill that you absolutely need to develop if you don't have it already. Because one, as a job seeker, your interviews most likely will be done virtually. Like I said earlier, it's a different thing communicating face-to-face, and it's a different thing communicating through, Zoom or Teams and all that. So you need to up your game. You need to up your game in terms of communication. And I recommend one way in which you can up your communication game is definitely Toastmasters International. So if you struggle with communicating interviews, one-on-one conversations, then you need to try to improve that. You can join the Toastmasters Club. It will greatly help you on that. Okay, so tips on job hunting in the new normal. Okay, so what are now the things that, what are the tips, or how can we get a job in this new normal with all the changes that COVID-19 has brought? What can we do? How can we get a job in this new normal? Someone might want to ask. Well, here are a few things that you can begin to do. You might have been doing some of these things in the past, but finding new ways to do things is always advisable. So the very first thing I say is update your CV. Update your CV. A lot of people send old CVs to hiring managers or to recruiters. Update your CV. There are so many things that you need to consider when you're updating your CV. So I'll come back to this slide, but let's have a look at some of the things to note when you're updating your CV. First of all, it's very important to know that when you're job hunting, your CV is the first point of call, is what the recruiter would use to judge you. So it has to be very, very appealing to the recruiter. By appealing, I don't mean the design of the CV. I just mean the content, the format. It has to be appealing to the recruiter. So one of the things to note when updating your CV is that it has to be organized. So your current job, the job before your current job, in that order, starting from your current job to your, oldest job. The date format. So if you're using if you're using day, month, year, let it be consistent all through the jobs. If you're using months, day, year, let it be consistent. Let your CV be understandable at a glance. It should not appear scattered. We have received too many CVs that are very, disorganized, putting date formats, in a disorganized manner, the job, the responsibility, everything, all scattered. So if your CV is not organized, the chances of the recruiter calling you for an interview is very, very slim. Because it takes a recruiter an average of 6 seconds to view a resume. So if it's not appealing at a glance, your chances are already reduced. The second thing to note is that your CV has to be compact. So it has to contain only relevant information. So if you've worked in a lot of places that are not relevant to your the current job you're applying to, then it might not be necessary to include them all. You can include some, but definitely not all. Let it be relevant. The third thing to note is that it has to be absolute. According to a Forbes survey, the average job opening gets about 118 resumes. So this simply means that there is a great competition. We're in competition with a lot of people, so your CV has to be absolute. Let it contain what it should contain, the relevant information only. The fourth thing to note is that it should be consistent. It should be consistent. So like I said earlier, your date formats have to be consistent. The fonts you use, the spacing you use, all of those things they matter. So people might think it doesn't matter, but it does matter, because it really your CV has to market itself, to the recruiter in order for you to stand a chance of getting contacted for an interview. And the final thing is that it has to be accurate. It has to be accurate. It is, and a hiring manager has seen like thousands and thousands of CVs. So it's very easy to spot a lie most times on your CV, especially, when you've put a call through for an interview and had a brief chat with you. It's very easy to spot a lie on your CV. So it's better not to include anything than to lie. That just cancels the entire chance of being called for further discussions. So this is some of the things to note when you're updating your CV. I just thought to mention that. So back to tips on job hunting in the new normal. The second tip I'd like to give is that you should enhance your digital presence. I mean, it's only normal that if everything is happening virtually, employers are recruiting online, employees are working from home, everything's happening virtually, then it's only normal that you should enhance your digital presence. So what I mean by that is, for instance, your LinkedIn profile. When was the last time you updated your LinkedIn profile? When was the last time you included, a new certification to your profile or LinkedIn? How would you be proud of your employer to have a look at your Instagram page? All of these things matter in this new normal, because everything, like I said, is virtual now. So before I even want to schedule you for an interview, I'll probably check your LinkedIn profile. I'll probably go ahead to check your Instagram profile just to see and have a feel of your personality. What kind of person is this? We can tell a lot from the things we see online about you. So it's important to enhance your digital presence. Clear out whatever it is that you wouldn't want your potential employer to see online. So that is that. The third one, diversify your search resources. A lot of the time, most people focus on one area of, searching for one particular job site or one particular area to search for jobs. But it's always best to diversify your search sources, because, to be honest, you never know where your next job will come from. You never know. It's okay to apply for jobs on job sites. It's okay to apply for jobs, through LinkedIn. It's okay to, apply for jobs directly from websites and all that. But it's also okay to let your friends and family know that you're actually looking for a job. A lot of the times, people, I don't know why, but people tend to apply for jobs, in private. Meanwhile, their friends don't even know they're looking for a job. Their family members don't even know they're looking for a job. And for a lot of recruiters prefer referrals from someone that knows you than getting someone randomly through an application. So it's always best to diversify your search sources. Explore options, just apply to as many, use as many sources as possible. Family and friends, job sites, job boards, company websites, LinkedIn is a fantastic tool for, looking for jobs, because it was made, it was made for that. So please leverage all these platforms in searching for jobs. The fourth one, tap into local opportunities. I remember when I graduated from school, and in my mind, all I was thinking of was working for a multinational. I didn't want to work for a startup. I didn't want to work for any indigenous company. I wanted to work for like a multinational. That's all that was in my head. So I was always applying to these big companies, these multinationals, and I never got any feedback, any positive feedback, until I began to look, around me. I began to look inwards. There are other indigenous companies that are not doing badly at all. So if you're a fresh graduate here, I really don't want you to have that mindset that it's only multinational that I want to work for. There are a lot of local opportunities. Begin to look for those opportunities and use those opportunities to develop yourselves for the multinationals that you probably work for in future. So tap into those local opportunities, because a lot of these companies need your skills. A lot of these companies need your expertise. Okay, and are willing to pay good money for it. So do not abandon local opportunities. Tap into them instead. Another tip is to master virtual interviewing. Master virtual interviewing. I honestly feel like with this virtual interviewing, it gives job seekers an opportunity to sell themselves better. And I say so because now you are not interviewing physically. You're interviewing via Zoom or via Teams or, WhatsApp or one platform or the other, right? So that tension is already reduced because you're not meeting with the interviewer physically. So you have you're in your own comfortable space, and you're able to project better, you're able to sell yourself better. So I think that job seekers need to leverage on this opportunity here to sell themselves virtually when interviewing. Another tip is to upskill. What are the skills that are in demand now in the new normal? Focus more, in my opinion, on the soft skills. If you lack any of those skills, begin to add them. Begin to look for ways to learn. There are a lot of free online courses that you can take, learn, and then apply this knowledge, in your job or in your day-to-day life, basically. And the last tip, and I think most important tip here, is to network. These days, almost everything is online, right? So, I'd advise that you network more, join communities, join a lot of communities. There are a lot of job opportunities that are being posted on these platforms. There are a lot of recruitment opportunities as well that might not make it to job boards, that might not make it to these job sites or websites, but on these communities, they are posted. And the chances of you getting that job when you're being referred is higher than when you apply randomly. So it's a great idea to network. Go on LinkedIn. There are a lot of professionals on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn. When you apply for a job, go on LinkedIn, look for people that currently work in that company. Connect with them. Send them your CV. Let them know that you're job hunting. Let them know, that you're looking for a job or a spot in the company they work for. Let them give you tips. Share, let them help you share. Just send messages. You never know who will respond to you. And at the end of the day, they might even be the ones to refer you to their HR in the company they work for. So explore your options. Network. the future of work. The future of work. Okay, so the future of work, really, in a nutshell, is it's remote working. A survey was done. I saw this on Capterra platform, and they asked their employees where small business employees would prefer to work after the pandemic, and this was the outcome of the survey that was done. You can see that majority of the people, 26%, said they'll prefer to work 50% from home and 50% from the office, while 25% said they will prefer to work 50% from home. While 25% said they'll work from home 100% of the time. So basically, the future of work is remote working. Employees don't want to go back to working 100% from the office, and companies these days have to adapt to that. So the future of work basically is remote working, and this has implications. This has an impact on both job seekers. It has an impact on business owners. It has an impact on undergraduates as well. It has an impact on everybody. Everybody has a part to play in this whole remote working system. But let me even ask you, so in the comment section, please let me know, as an employee or as a job seeker or as a business owner, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to work from home 100%, or would you prefer to do it 50-50, 50 from the home, 50 from office, or would you prefer to work from the office fully? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I can't see any comments. Okay. Work from home 70%. Okay, it's very, 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 very possible. I mean, a lot of companies are doing that right now. Personally, I like the idea of working from home 50% and working from the office 50%, a mix of both worlds. So I really think a lot of companies are adapting to this trend, and we'll probably be seeing more of that in the future. So what is the overall outlook or the overall implication of the changes that COVID has brought? Okay, I just try to simplify it by using this acronym NUT. So basically, in a nutshell, the implication of all of these changes for job seekers is that there has to be an increase in their networking game. So if you're looking for a job, in this new normal, your networking game has to be on point. It has to be on point, either through LinkedIn, either through physical meetup, either through conferences, trainings, whatever it is. Networking should be a priority if you're looking for a job right now. Also, for employees that are looking to change jobs or that are looking to get promoted in their current organization, one of the things that you need to begin to focus on now is your upskilling game, because companies now are paying more attention to people who have in-demand skills. So if you're in a company and you don't have those key skills companies need to maintain productivity and to increase, profits, it might be hard to get promoted in this new normal. It might be hard to, advance in your career generally if you don't upskill. And there are a lot of opportunities for upskilling at the moment because everything is online. There are free trainings, there are free conferences, there are free seminars, there are workshops like this. I mean, so there's really no excuse not to be upskilling in this new normal. Okay. And then for business owners, trends, you have to be conversant with the trends and adapt to them. Any business in this new normal that decides not to, adapt to the trends, might soon become obsolete, to be honest. Because as a business owner, you're probably looking for top talent. You're looking for the best kinds of candidates, right? So you're looking for the best kind of candidates. So in the event that the candidates you really want, want to work from home, and then your business is saying they can't work from home, you might lose out on such a great talent just because you as a business owner have decided not to adapt to, the changes, flexible working arrangements and all that. So business owners need to be more conversant with trends, need to be more adaptable to all of these changes in order to remain relevant and to get the best of candidates in the new normal. So yeah, NUC, network, upskill, and then adapt to the trends. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to, since we're talking about job hunting and all that, I actually have a few vacancies that are open right now. So I thought to share. So if you know someone that, is an accountant, cost controller with a bit of experience, and also a HR and admin manager, you can reach out to Fikwayomi, and I'll send you more details on the job requirements. So if you're here and you have the necessary skills for these vacancies, or you know someone who does, please share. Okay, so I plan to make this brief, so I'll stop sharing now, and I'll love to take questions or comments. That's all, folks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys, I just wanted to appreciate Amarash in the chat. Thank you so much for those. I think it was very, very detailed, and you kind of build it ground up. So everybody understand where we're coming from and what's going to happen, going forward. So please, if you have questions, it's time for you to share the question in the chat room so that we can take questions. But I have questions. So while you type your questions, I have questions. So I want to ask, and this is a bit dicey as a professional. I think working from home gives people opportunity. When I mean people, employee, to do multiple work. But how does that look like from the initial person perspective? Like, because I'm not showing up at the office, and I think the most important thing for me is to get my job done. So, what do you think about that? Is that a real opportunity, or it's more of people exploiting the idea of working from home? What do you think about that? Okay, let me try to unmute you. I have to unmute Amarati back now because everybody's muted. Just give me seconds. Okay, so you can go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so to be honest, I think that yes, there are a lot of employees these days that exploit the whole working from home to take advantage of it. But at the same time, it is here to stay. So we just have to find ways to make it work for both the employer and the employee, And I think the major way that you can make it work is by ensuring they deliver on their deliverables. To be honest, you can't really control every single thing that they do while working from home. You can only monitor their performance, by ensuring that they meet up with their KPIs, and their daily deliverables, to be honest. So yeah, working from home is here to stay, whether companies like it or not. It's here to stay. So yeah, I think it's a good one.
Thank you so much. Yes, there's a question. As an employee that works from 8 to 5 at office in Lagos and a fresh graduate who just started, what do you advise I do in balancing my time and to improve my skills? So he or she is working, and also he or she is a fresh graduate. So she needs, let's say he need advice on how to balance, how to improve time management. Think, what are the time management skills? Better way to structure the question. Yeah. Okay. So you can go ahead now. You can just say, till we are done.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you're asking about tips for time management as a fresh graduate.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. I really just say that you need to prioritize. That's one strong way in which you can manage your time better. So there are things that need to be done, and then there are things that need to be done now. So you need to differentiate what are the things that I need to be doing now from the things that I need to do. And then create a list, have a to-do list daily. What is the long term? So on this job I just started, what are my KPIs? Now those your KPIs, divide them into smaller bits. What do I need to do every day in order for me to achieve this by the end of the year or by mid-year? Create a to-do list and stick to it. You can also, there's something I used to do because I know that I struggled with time management for a long time myself, earlier on in my career. So I created a to-do list and I send it to my manager every day. Like I wasn't asked to do this, so I created a to-do list. I sent my manager, and before the close of day, I sent her what I was able to achieve and what I was not able to achieve. Do you understand? So she's helping me manage my time. So you can adopt that. You can adopt that too, but basically prioritize the things you need to do now from the things you need to do. Prioritize.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amarachi. We've learned a lot. Are we going to get a slide, please, so that people can afford it to go through? And someone also asked a question. If you were kind enough to answer the question in the chat, because we're actually out of time. Francis is asking how to enroll in improving communication skills. So Amarachi, maybe you can help in the chat, just respond to that question. Guys, I want you to appreciate Amarachi for taking time out to share with us today. I just want you to appreciate her in the chat room. Thank you so much, Amarachi. We've learned a lot, and hopefully we'll start. And if you need that, if you know someone in your circle that needs the job that she shared here, I want you to reach out to me, and you can just type in the chat room. Some of my team members are going to reach out to you so that we can get your contact. So it's an opportunity to refer someone for the job. It's a great opportunity. And I'm very sure we're going to get the slide also, so you have opportunity to read through. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're moving on. We're moving on to the second speaker. And he was speaking on how you can get prestigious scholarships, And I was saying that, a lot of people are getting scholarship these days. And if you want to jack back, this is one of the easiest way, you travel outside the country to study, and you're fortunate to stay there, to work there, to live there. And even if you'll be coming back to the country, there's a high probability that you're going to be contexting for opportunity at another level. So the scholarship gives you, it's just like a leveler, like it gives you opportunity, it's a leverage rather. I give opportunity to be able to have some level of some layer of opportunity than other people. Interestingly, this scholarship, there are a lot of them, and people actually have been closing this deal. So this evening, we'll be listening to Oluwasegun Ige. And I want to read his profile before I bring Segun in. And just give me a second, so I want to put that up. So Oluwasegun Ige is currently an Emeritus Master's Program Scholar. Actually, he's studying he's studying marine biological resources with specialization in marine biotechnology, which he is currently coordinating the Ghent University in Belgium. So he is currently studying in Belgium, and he is an Emeritus Scholar. So it's one of the prestigious scholarships, like Children Scholarship and other scholarships that are very popular. So today, he will be sharing with us practical steps that we can take to land these interesting global opportunities. Shegun, welcome. I'll be unmuting you now so you can take over the conversation. I'm looking for Shegun on the call so I can unmute you. Yeah, Shegun, you can go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Wow, I hope I will be able to use 40 minutes as well. I hope I'll be able to use my time.
Yeah, you can use, if you can do it 30 minutes, that would be great. We don't keep people too long.
Okay.
But go ahead anyway.
Okay. Yeah, a wonderful presentation from Amarachi. I really learned a lot. Nice one. Okay, thanks to the organizers of this conference. Also thanks to, Mr. Aluko, and also blessing for the invitation. Okay. My name is Oluwasegun Ike, as earlier mentioned, and I'll be taking us through how to get prestigious scholarship to study abroad. Okay, so number one thing is that the motive you are having for applying for scholarship. You know, a lot of Nigerians want to run away from Nigeria, and since the easiest way now is to apply for scholarship. But okay, it's fine. The situation of the country presently is not really okay, but okay, I can see, of course. Okay, it's actually fine. But however, the process might be so tedious in the sense that when you start receiving rejection letters, or let me say love,
Actually, we are muted. We can't hear you again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You can go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I said, if your motive is to run away from Nigeria, you understand it might be somehow difficult for you when you resume your postgraduate study, because your passion should be the one to be driving you. You understand? Not because you want to run away from Nigeria. Because when you face challenges, you might just be like, oh, God will also settle us in Nigeria as well. We will definitely be all right. But when your passion is driving you, you are good to go. And don't apply for scholarship because you want to let your mommy, brother, uncle, sister know that you want scholarship. You want to prove or you want to boast. No. You know, in life, the principle of life is that the motive you're having behind something really have impact on the end product. You understand? So let your motive be very right. You understand? And also, I will love the class to be interactive. I would prefer to teach. I want to teach. So I want the class to be interactive. Firstly, I want you to type to the comment section, the comment part, that what are the things you need to have right now if you want to apply for scholarships abroad. Can you just tell me those stuff that you need to have presently before you apply for scholarship abroad? Okay, I'm seeing people responding, but before I'm going to look into that, number one thing is that you must be informed. You must be informed. If you have 5.0 as your CGPA and you are not informed, believe me, you are going to sit in Nigeria for several years seeking for a job. You understand? So you must be informed. And another thing is mentorship. You must have mentors. You can't do this. You can't do this alone. To be sincere, you know, I passed through a lot of errors. I passed through a lot of mistakes during application. So if I'm guiding someone, I'll be able to, and that person wants to make the same mistake, then I'll be able to bring that person. No, this is not the way to do it. You understand? So, as if you have mentor, you have the likelihood to even perform better or to achieve better than your mentors, because they're not going to fall into error that they already passed through. You understand? Okay, and don't forget, humility is very important in mentorship. You have to be humble. Okay, now let me look at the Okay. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, yeah. English language certification, transcript, international passport. Yeah, that's very right. Number one thing is that you must have an international passport. Reason is that if you want to apply at the form, I mean inside the form, you're going to see a particular port or a particular place where you're going to input your passport number. And you know that when filling a form and there is asterisk there, you know you won't be able to submit that form. No matter how sound your application can be, you won't be able to submit unless you insert that passport number. So you have to get your passport ready now before you start thinking of applying. That's the very important thing. Another thing is the transcript. Yes, I'm very sure we have undergraduates here. Don't join those people that used to say school na scam, school na scam. My brother and sister, school no be scam. Embassy will respect you as a scholar. I'm telling you. So school no be scam. Those people that used to say school na scam is because they haven't carried over in school. So they want to use something to justify themselves. They might be saying because if okay, they might be saying it's not. There are a lot of people there that are not getting job, even for class students, giving excuses to discourage you. They want to justify their failure. So don't join them. That school na scam. School is not a scam. Yes, thank you for that, Vivian. Okay, because another thing is your CGPA is very important. If you're undergraduate, strive as much as possible to have very high CGPA. In academia, the standard to determine your brilliancy is your CGPA. Even if you are more brilliant than the person having 5.0 in class, you are having 0.5 in your CGPA. Believe me, you are going to be classified as the most dullard. So you know you have been graded by several lecturers. You understand? So both wicked ones, gentle ones, the sadists, and yet you are still being able to have very high CGPA. So in academia, what we use to determine your level of brilliancy is your CGPA. So if you are putting in an application, you understand, the first thing that will bring impression about you is your CGPA. But we have graduates as well. Maybe you are a graduate and you finish with the 2-1, 2-2 HND. Believe me, there's a good news for you. You have 100% chance of getting scholarship. 100% chance of getting scholarship. I have friends of 2-2, especially in US, even HND holders winning Erasmus. So it's very possible. So don't even think that first class is only meant to secure scholarships. No. There are a lot of first class that they don't even know what they are doing. I'm telling you. So don't, as a first class student, don't rely too much on your CGPA. You understand? So build yourself. Now, what can you do as a 2-2 graduate or an HND graduate to be able to meet up with the standard of a first class student? Believe me, if you have a very sound profile, they are going to neglect the application of first class students, 5.0 students for you when you have massive CV. So this will drive me towards CV. There is a difference between academic CV and maybe you are seeking for a job. The CV, the kind of job, the kind of CV you put in for a job application is different from scholarship application, totally different. So if you are using the CV you are using, the CV you are using for job seeking for application of scholarship, believe me, it's going to be a failure. I'm going to explain that later, but I want to explain the practical ways because of time. You know, I've been cheated somehow. So I'm going to explain that CV. I'm going to give you guidelines. I will have sent you sample of CV, but in academics, we used to be afraid of something. We call it plagiarism. You know, when you are doing projects in school, when you just copy something, you just do copy and paste, copy and paste. When you try that for your CV, it's going to affect you and the person owning the CV. So I'm not going to share a CV sample, but you can definitely browse. But I'm going to give you guidelines on academic CV. But before then, let me just quickly explain. Maybe you are being confused about how is this scholarship about, how do people get linked, all those stuff. Number one thing, I say mentorship is the key. Mentorship is the key. Very important. Okay? Number one thing is that in the world, US, they have the most abundant scholarship. USA, they have the most abundant scholarships. They call their scholarships teaching or graduate assistantship or research assistantship. I'm going to explain that. But let me just explain US and Canada. They are somehow related. But one thing about US is that they request for GRE. GRE. So, but some schools in US, they waive GRE. You understand? They will be like, we don't need you to submit your GRE. But some people, even when the school say they don't need GRE, they will still submit their GRE because there are some circumstances that the delivery might be somehow tight for the school. So they might be like, this person submitted GRE, so let us go for this one. So if you want to target US to be on the safer side, sincerely, try to write GRE and TOEFL or IELTS. But US, they value TOEFL more. USA, they value TOEFL more. And for class students, not Education USA, or let me say ISI. ISI is only for class, I think. And there's also another one, Michael Taiwo, stuff like that. Those guys, or let me say those programs, they fund for GRE and TOEFL, all those English proficiency tests. Education USA is only limited to first class, but ISI and Michael Taiwo, it is for everybody. So you can try to search more on that. So if you don't have abundance of money to write GRE is like 45K, TOEFL is also like 45K, and you don't have any job presently. So you have to, yes, Education USA, ISI. You understand? So let's now say you have let's say you don't have money or you're not part of Education USA or ISI, you understand, to give you funding for your GRE or your TOEFL. You understand? First thing is that I think I have a list of US schools. I'm going to send it to us. Okay, it's now more than 45K. So probably when I did it then. But IELTS is also like 75 or 80K. But believe me, the money you're going to get at the long run, millions of naira, millions, far beyond that, far beyond all these 75K or 45K. So don't be stingy to yourself. If you have the money, put it inside. You understand? Okay. Now what you do is that go to US school, or if eventually you don't have the list of the US school, just browse the list of US universities. So go to those schools, go to the department that you know that you're going to be working with. Probably you are interested in microbiology, for example. And believe me, you have to know how to use Google search engine, because if you are going to their site and you are looking for microbiology department in one US school, you might not see it because it's limited in Nigeria that we are having microbiology department, biochemistry department, biology department. So it might be very difficult for you perusing through the school site. You understand? But you can type to Google like, okay, microbiology modules or courses, you understand, or faculties in University of so. Google is going to bring you straight, you understand, to that site. Now go and mail the department coordinator and ask that, let's assume you don't have money for GRE or TOEFL. Ask that, do they waive GRE for you and also TOEFL? Also, if they waive application fee, because application fee can also be somehow costly. Some people 30K, 20K in naira. You understand? When you want to pay. So let me see, you want to apply to 20 schools and you want to pay application fee of 20K for each. Can you see that is so consuming? So mail them that, okay, do they waive GRE? Do they waive TOEFL? Do they waive do they have do they waive application fee? And also, is there availability of teaching assistantship in the department or research assistantship? Teaching assistantship is like they're going to pay for your school fee, but you're going to be helping a lecturer, like a supervisor, your supervisor, in teaching the white people, all those undergraduate students. You're going to be a lecturer there. You're going to be teaching the undergraduate students. Then you might set question. Depends on your supervisor. The supervisor might say you should set question for him or mark script for him. So they are not going to be paying you monthly, they are giving you salary. So that is the one you're going to be using for your feeding, for your accommodation, for your clothing, etc. Helping him to search, you understand? So you're not going to be teaching anything.
Shegun, please, can you mute? We can hear you again. Let me try and allow you to unmute again. Yeah, so can you unmute now?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You can go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, as I was saying, I think I was like, when after maybe the various coordinators, you understand? So their response will now determine if they are going to go for that school or not. So let's say the school give you positive response. You should also ask that, is it mandated, or let me say, is it mandatory that you should secure a supervisor before you apply? There are some schools like, let's say, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, without you having a supervisor that is willing to accept you, you'll be able to apply. So there are some schools like that, but there are some that they don't really need that. You understand? So target schools in US and Canada that are doing stuff like that. So when they want you to mail faculties, even if they don't want you, if they say many faculties is not important, still try. Although it's not easy, some will not even respond to you, but still try, because let's assume that the faculty, or let me say the supervisor that is willing to accept you, is part of the committee that's going to award teaching assistantship to the applicant in the department. Believe me, once he knows that you are a candidate, then automatically somehow you're going to be given the scholarship. Do you understand? So try to mail faculties. And let me show us the sample of cover letter. There is what we call cover letter. If you want to mail a faculty, so you have to prepare a cover letter. Let me show us a sample. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you allow me to share my screen so that I can show a sample of cover letter?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, can you see my screen?
Not yet. Not yet.
Coming. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Not yet. We can see your screen.
Wow.
Alternatively, you can email it to us. We have the contact of.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going. But you can just talk through it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to send the sample of cover letter. So sample of cover letter is that you're going to tell the faculty that, okay, I've read your profile, I've read your research, and I see that your research is similar to mine, and I want to join your lab maybe fall 2022. You understand? For next year. Believe me, there are some faculties that the student that's going to work with them for 2023, they already have it. So that's why you must not waste time. So start mailing them as soon as possible. Even if the application is going to open by December, start mailing the supervisors now. So some will not even respond to you, some will, and some will definitely give you response. You understand? So once you are able to get, and always ask for, although you are going to see it in the sample, always ask for Zoom meeting, or let me say video discussion with the supervisor, so that that person is going to remember that he has spoken with this particular person. Those guys are receiving hundreds of emails per day. People mailing them from all over the world that they want to work with them. And also, if you are mailing someone in the US, you should not mail them when you are, our time is different. So you should target when they are around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, their office hour. You understand? So don't mail them when they are going to be in the midnight. When your message drops when they are in the midnight, another person mail them in the morning. Your own mail will go under and they're not going to see it. So try to be strategic. So once you're able to secure supervisor, it makes the journey faster. But if you are unable to, all fine, still go on and apply. You understand? So the same thing works with Canada. Then apart from US and Canada, you understand, there are massive scholarships that you don't even need to mail any development coordinator, you don't need to mail any graduate coordinator or any faculty. You're just going to apply straight once you have a sound profile. You understand? Scholarship, like you can subscribe to myschool.com. When you subscribe to myschool.com, they're going to be sending you mails of scholarships that are open every day. Every day. So you're going to be receiving news. So we have Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, we have Commonwealth Share Scholarship, we have Mandela Rule Scholarship, we have Queen Elizabeth Scholarship, we have DAD, we have MasterCard. There are lots of them. There will be a particular time you'll be like, this scholarship is too small for me. This one is too small. When you know that you have already worked hard and you have found, you understand. So let me just share us a link to Erasmus Mundus Scholarship programs. Let me share us a link to Erasmus Mundus Scholarships program, okay? Erasmus Scholarships program, can you see it? So that's the link to Erasmus Mundus Scholarships program. Those programs for Erasmus, you are able to apply to like 3 programs. Don't apply more than 3. So search for those programs. Opening starts next month. So opening starts next month. Some programs start by October, some September, some November, some December. So go to that link, select 3 programs. You understand? So those 3 programs that you know that you are eligible for, it is related to your research interest or your interest, or let me say your past research work, or let me say your undergraduate course. Then try to select 3 and check for their requirements. Some of them will say you should submit TOEFL, mandatory, or IELTS. So if you know that the program you want to apply for request for IELTS or TOEFL, then you should know that you have to do the exam as soon as possible before the deadline. You understand? So, and there are some programs that some even say you should use the WAEC result. That if you have C6 in your WAEC, you are good to use it. And some will even say you should submit English proficiency letter from your university, because they know that Nigeria officially will speak English. So they will say for Nigerians, maybe you finish from UI now, for example. So they will say, okay, collect letter from your Senate, from the Senate of your university that you studied in, and you submit it, and they're going to collect it from you. But there are some that they will mandate that, because due to the country you are going to be studying, you understand? So they're going to say you must submit English proficiency score or results, and they're going to have a scale. They might say you should not score more than 92 over 120, 90, some will say 90, some will say 87. So go to that link as soon as possible to select those programs. And also we have Commonwealth. I said you should subscribe to myschool.com. So when those scholarships are coming out, you're going to be receiving alerts about them. And also there are WhatsApp group. Mentorship is very important. When you have mentors to guide you, you're not going to be left out, believe me. So when maybe you want to apply to a particular scholarship, let me say MasterCard, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, you understand? Type MasterCard, maybe MasterCard for Edinburgh University. Or let me use Erasmus for example. You are applying to EDO. There's a particular program called EDO in Erasmus, Infectious Disease and One Health. Maybe that's what you are going for. Just type EDO to LinkedIn or Facebook. You're going to see scholars that have updated their profile. Message any of them that, okay, I want to apply to EDO. As an EDO scholar, can you please guide me through? Be humble enough. You understand? So more Nigerians, or let me say other Africans, especially, so that I want to write my SOP, can you please guide me through and the like. So from there, you're going to have more mentors. The mentors I have, if they are not up to 20, believe me, I have mentors in Commonwealth, mentors in MasterCard, almost all scholarships. Understand? So try to do that. And there's what we call SOP, or let me say personal statement. There is difference between SOP and personal statement. When you are writing personal statement, majorly they want you to write about the history of your life. There are some scholarships that they want you to tell them how your parents were selling coconut to fund you to school, or how you hawk pure water or drinks in order to sponsor your education. There are some scholarships that they want you to share the story of your life, how poor you are somehow. But that is when they're asking for personal statement. You can state something like that, and you must also state your strengths. What are the things maybe you want to apply for an Erasmus program? Go to the site of that program. Go and check the courses they are doing in that program. For the first semester, for second semester, for third semester. So mention those courses in your SOP that, okay, these particular courses, I have done something related to it in my undergraduate study. And during my internship, I did something related to this. So it has already prepared me to have successful stay in this program. You understand? So when you're also writing SOP, you should also make sure you write. There is no way you're not going to write SOP or personal statement, essay in scholarship. There is no way. If you hate writing, you have to develop good writing skills. You have to develop good writing skills, and also you should submit to scholars to review for you. So the scholars are going to review for you and correct your mistakes, grammatical errors, and other stuff. Those things that you ought not to include and the ones you have to add. So your SOP and personal statement is very, very important. In application of scholarship, the two major things is your CV and your SOP. You have to go and learn how to write SOP or personal statement. If you are applying for teaching assistantship in US, you must be able to tell them how able you can teach. You understand? If you are applying for research assistantship, you must be able to tell them how sound you are in making research. You must have publications. Although I'm still going to explain about CV. So your personal statement or your SOP must include your strengths, your strength in terms of what you have done so far that have prepared you, and also your future plan. What will you use this thing to do? Do you get? Those people, they don't want to sponsor someone that will just sit down there and have nothing to do in future. They want people that will be leaders of tomorrow to change the world, to change the environment. So you must be able to tell them your future plan, your future, what will I do with this program after my master's or after my PhD? What am I going to do with this program? You must be able to explain to them. Not, you understand, those are the things you should be in your SOP. I can also send you sample later on. And also, let me explain CV. Academic CV is different from job seeking CV. In job seeking CV, you used to write objective, and when I come to your company, I'm going to work very well with your team. I have good communication skills, all those stuff. They don't need that in academic CV. That you're going to, they need proofs. They need proofs. Let me just, and another thing about CV, don't send CV of 4 pages, 5 pages, 10 pages. Those people that are reviewing applications, it is so bulky for them. So when you are submitting 10 pages of CV, they're just going to dump it that I'm not yet ready for this. It's too much. So at most, your CV should be 2.5 pages or 3 pages. It's okay. So writing CV is a skill. Some people pay money to learn how to write CV. When you want to prepare soup, the way you used to add Maggi, spices to your soup, that's the way even if you are selling jollof rice and you want to write it in your CV, that's the way you can write it that is going to be massive. It's a skill. Writing CV is a skill that you have to learn. Okay, when you want to write academic CV, number one, remove your age, remove, even address is not compulsory, remove your pictures. What is important is your name, your email. You can put link of your LinkedIn or Facebook, but that is when the profile of your LinkedIn or Facebook is massive. If your LinkedIn profile is weak, please don't add the link to your CV. So another thing is, after that, education. If you have first class, okay, I attend Federal University of Technology, Bachelor Degree of Technology in Microbiology, the year, you understand. So you don't need to be writing your primary school, secondary school, education because of pages. Then certification, do online courses. Go to futurelearn.com. Go to Coursera. Do online courses. If you're an undergraduate, start learning online courses far beyond, start thinking beyond your classroom. So start doing online courses. Don't go for those ones that will give you certificate. And if eventually you can't see the ones that will give you certificate freely, then do those ones as well and add the link to your CV. So the certification, maybe you are anticipating to become a biotechnologist in the future. Start doing online courses that are about biotechnology. So by then, he's going to give the review as that, okay, this person will not struggle when this person come and study here. You understand? So another thing is, after writing your certification, another important thing is your research skills. Maybe you must know how to write code. Even if you are studying biology, the world is evolving. It is Nigeria that we are limited. You can't work with DNA without coding. So Python, R programming, the world is evolving. So they are not going to teach you that in your classroom. Maybe you are studying biochemistry, biology. So start learning them. All those programming courses, they will know that this particular person is really technical. This particular person is not just book. You understand? Then another thing is your experiences, your work experiences. There are some people that they don't really have work experiences. But I said it earlier on, spices. Even if where you are working in Chicken Republic, you are selling rice to Chicken Republic. You can write it in such a way that you will be like, without you, the community of Ibadan, they are not going to survive because they are the ones supplying food to them, the delicious food and the balanced diet that they need. You understand? So I'm going to use that work as a server in Chicken Republic. You're going to explain it in such a way that you are saving life. So I said the other time that CV is a skill. So write your experiences, your work experiences. If you are going to apply for teaching assistantship, you understand? Try to include your teaching experiences. Maybe your fellowship in school, you help maybe those people that want to do jam, you help them, you took tutorials. There are stuff you can put in your CV. You understand? So your experience because of time. Also, publication is very important. Maybe you are in 100 level, you are in 200 level. Before you finish your undergraduate, you can have 7 publications. If you are in 200 level presently or 100 level, just go and meet 500 level that you know that they are likely scholars, that they are moving towards scholarship application and they are doing their project. Work with them that senior Shade, I want to become scholar as well. I want you to add me to your publication and the like. So by the time you're going to reach 500 level yourself, you must have like 10 publications. Sincerely, those things are strategy. And when you have something like that, you don't even need to do masters before applying for PhD. I'm telling you, from undergraduate to PhD, straight within 3, 4, 5 years, you don't become doctor. So publication is also very important. Please, publication is important. Try to publish your work, even if it is 1 or 2. It gives strength to your CV. Unlike if you graduate with 2 and your CV is massive, and someone submitting applications a first class student without any publication, without any great thing, you know they're going to focus on your own. Another thing is attend conferences or seminars. Don't just be reading. This particular conference, add it to your CV. Explain the meaning. You understand? And don't just write in such a way that they're not going to understand. Write this conference that, okay, this conference is about this, it's about that. Even your work experience, these are the things we are doing. Don't just write it don't be skeptical. Just let even a layman person understand what you are writing in your CV. When you want to write about NYSC in your CV, white people, they don't understand the meaning of NYSC. Explain to them that NYSC is a program that is organized by federal government of Nigeria that is mandated for all fresh graduates to serve the nation. It's like a voluntary work. So explain to them. So don't just write NYSC or assume that they understand. You understand? Be specific. And you want to write, another thing is professional membership. Try to join maybe Association of Microbiologists in Nigeria, American Association of Microbiologists, NYSC is even professional membership, you understand? So try to join, be a member of some professional body. Another thing is your award and honor. These people, they want to give scholarship to those people that they know that they emit, they can flourish. Like those people that in their past, they have been sound person. So when you give them the honor that you have already achieved, even when your primary school, if you don't have honor, maybe your undergraduate, you don't have honor. Primary school, maybe they give you best student in mathematics, best student, they are part of your honor. And state that you are like 90 in class, you are like 100. Maybe you are best graduate student of your university. You can't just write best graduate student of the university of so. Explain to them that like 20,000 graduates, you are the first. That number, 20,000, it carry weight, it gives weight to your CV. Don't just write that I'm the best graduate student. Your school can be 50 students, can be 20. But when you explain to them that like 20,000, be specific. You are the best copper in Nigeria. You are being given the best corps member after your service. Explain to them that the number of corps members is not just 2 people or 3 people that competed. You are like thousands. Explain the specific. Another thing is leadership experiences, or leadership role. Even if you are part of the fellowship, name that you coordinated fellow students of about 10,000 in your fellowship, 200, 300. You are level coordinator. You understand? You are course rep, maybe MCD 309. You are the course representative. Explain that in your CV. Okay, I'm the representative of the class of about 90 or 100 in this particular course. These are leadership. You understand? Another thing is your voluntary. Voluntary work. Don't just be looking for money. Internship is very important. Do internship voluntarily. Don't be seeking for money. Undergraduate, your IT time is very important. Don't look after money. Look for the future. I got the understanding of molecular biology doing my IT. I was not paid. But if I have not had that understanding, I won't be able to get scholarship in biotechnology. Do you understand? So don't look after money. Do voluntary work. NGO, there are a lot of NGOs that are there. They want to invest on people that they are not greedy, that in the future they will be willing to help the society as well. You understand? Another thing is your hobby. You can write that. And your referee. Referee is very important. Your recommendation letter. Don't fight your lecturers, especially your supervisor. Even if your supervisor is wicked, try to be gentle. Try to be nice to them. When you submit your application, they're going to ask for your referee's contact. And most especially, you're not going to see the recommendation letter your referee is going to write on your behalf. It is the referee that will send it directly to them. So if you are the kind of person that you are wicked, your referee will just write something that is going to hinder you into the recommendation letter. You understand? So move closer to your lecturers. If you have graduated and you had classes with your lecturers, please settle it. They are going to be your recommenders. They are going to recommend for you. You understand? Then, I think another thing. Okay, let me just check the time. I tried now.
We're running out of time. So we need to wrap up, Shegun. What I think is that I know that there are many people on the call that also they are passionate about what you're saying, and they also want to apply. They want to apply for this scholarship. So what I'm thinking now, what we can do just because of our time is to take questions, and you can share your contact and your social media stuff on at the chat.
Okay.
Shout to you. But I'm so glad that you went into detail and specifics, and we've tried to even capture that in the chat. You see people dropping stuff, so people can really take.
This is my
there's
mail.
more you want to share, you can just share your contact. Yeah, okay. So people can reach out to you. Also, you want to give us some format, right? You want to share with us cover letter. You want to share with us, right? You intend to share that with us. You can unmute yourself so that we can just cover letter. And then any other resources you want to share. We have over 300 people that register for this program, and we have about 1,000 people on our database. We ensure that we share those resources with them tomorrow, even with the one we gathered yesterday. And we already have actually also slides. She just sent that slide to me. Thank you so much, Shegun. I want to take a question now. I don't know if you have a question. Do you want to drop that in the chat room? If you have a question for Shegun before we wrap up, in the next 2-3 minutes, we shut down this call. 8:30 is our mark, and we're minutes over that. Although we start like 7:05 today, so that's understandable. So Shegun, I was thinking, if you're going to say 3 things, that really makes anybody, there are more than 3 things, but what are the most important things? Just 3 things. Summary. If you're going to wrap up this session, what are the 3 things can't afford to forget, can't afford to ignore if they want to launch class?
Okay. Number 1 is mentorship. Don't forget mentorship. Yes, mentorship, international passport, all those requirements. You understand?
Okay.
Then, yes, all those requirements. Your passport, your CV, your transcript, they are very important, and your SOP. Most especially your CV and SOP.
Fantastic, fantastic. So 1, you're saying mentorship, because when you get that mentorship, it's as if the box. You see different things inside the mentorship, and then you're saying there are basic requirements for SOP, your passport, they have to be ready. I mean, you're talking about basic documentation. So you have passport, you have maybe GRE language.
English proficiency test, maybe GRE,
Exactly.
TOEFL,
Exactly.
IELTS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you're not
Those are
saying the
major
tough thing
things.
that, yeah, you're not saying the tough thing that really sets people apart is a personal statement, right?
Yes.
Your statement,
And your
so,
CV.
and your CV, and your CV. Fantastic. So I'm not sure we have a question now. To be honest, I think you are very, very detailed, so that's understandable. If you don't have question, you can drop your email again. If you're applying for a particular scholarship this year, I mean, most scholarships are closed now. I know they will start seeing some opening early next year. So you can reach out to Shegun. Thank you so much. Guys, I just wanted to show Shegun some love in the chat room for spending time, depth of preparation, and it was so detailed. It was not superficial. He went into the technicality of it, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Shegun. Thank you for taking time to do this. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Before we leave today, I just want to give you some insight about what's happening tomorrow. So we're wrapping up the conference tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day because I will be speaking tomorrow, and I won't be speaking alone. I'll be speaking also with Ore. Ore will be speaking on digital marketing. So tomorrow Lee speaks. Today we dealt more with graduates and people that are building their career, people that want to move into scholarship, you want to leverage scholarship and international opportunity. But tomorrow we'll be speaking more into business people that run their business. So if you know anybody that is running his or her business, she or he needs to be on this call tomorrow because you need to be careful with gender these days, right? Our world is changing really fast. So that individual needs to be on this call tomorrow because I will be speaking on digital marketing. And if you're looking for alternative skill sets, just like Tope said yesterday, to build business, then you need to be on this call tomorrow and share this link with your friends. And all these calls are being streamed on Facebook and YouTube. And the links are in your email if you register for this session. So you can visit and watch them later, and you can share with your loved one, your friends that needs this information. I remember Oluwapelumi asking in the chat that, are we going to get a link? Yes, we'll later email out this link, but if you already received our email, I can assure you the links are there to the YouTube, and this video is being streamed to you on YouTube, and it's going to be there after this session. And lastly, tomorrow won't end without me speaking. So I will be speaking tomorrow, and I'll be talking mainly on the business of your talent. That's what I'll be speaking on. How do you harness your talent and turn your talent to an ATM machine? That's going to be the purpose of the speech tomorrow. And it's going to be systematic presentation. So I'll be speaking about specific things you can do to galvanize your talent. Everybody have talents. Everybody have talent. Everybody have a skill. You have something special about you. You have a leverage. You have something that sets you apart from people. It may be your mind. It may be anything. And tomorrow, I'm going to show you practical way to turn that skill, what you have, that thing you have, that talent you have, into a powerful ATM machine. So that's going to end the session tomorrow. So we're going to end with bang tomorrow. So you all need to be here and also share this link with your friend. Thank you so much for joining us today, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Shegun. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow. And if you're not in Nigeria, obviously, see you the next day, right? Obviously, because I know we are in different time zone. Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye. Fantastic session.